Well, should there be a limit to the amount of money that you can sue your employer for in case of serious injury or even death? Well, a bill headed to the Senate floor would put a cap on those certain kinds of damages.
It's a complicated bill. Shayla Klein is here to break it all down for us.
To meet this burden, you have to prove the worst of the worst conduct, something that is so egregious that it typically will shock your conscience when you hear it.
The West Virginia Association for Justice explaining what constitutes as deliberate intent. House Bill 3270 seeks to put a cap on the amount an employee can get per person in cases of serious injury or death. Why? Insurance premiums.
So that they can have some control over pricing.
When an employee gets hurt in West Virginia, a company has two different kinds of insurance. One is workers' compensation, which is given regardless of who is at fault. The other is deliberate intent, which is when the employee can prove that the injury was a result of the company failing to provide a safe work environment.
The bar is extremely high to sue someone for deliberate intent. There's a 5-point test that must be met, and then the disability must be at least a 13% disability. So if you lose a couple fingers, you wouldn't even qualify.
Workers' compensation insurance is mandatory in West Virginia, but deliberate intent insurance is optional. However, the price of deliberate intent coverage has gone up, so insurance companies are asking West Virginia to put a cap per person on non-economic damages.
But I also think we need to be fair and reasonable about these laws. It shouldn't always be pounding down on the companies at the expense of fairness.
Non-economic damages are things that can't be added up so easily, like pain and suffering and emotional distress. This bill would put the cap at $500,000 on those types of damages, or 2 times the amount of economic damages, like medical bills or loss of employment, whichever is more.
I mean, if the company's worth $1 billion and they on purpose put you in a position to get you hurt, I can't imagine why you don't get all you can get.
The other part of the House bill was related specifically to black lung cases. It would raise the bar on what someone would have to do to sue for deliberate intent in black lung cases. In favor of the bill, Hott argued that deliberate intent is supposed to be as a result of a sudden occurrence instead of extended exposure.
I don't even know how this is even a debate. I don't know how you conceal or manipulate anything without having the intention to do so. By adding the word fraudulently, that takes the case into such a high burden of proof that really anybody can get away with anything.
Senator Chapman asking the committee to amend the bill to remove the word fraud from the bill, which reads that the employee would have to prove that the company purposely tampered with air quality tests. After a 45-minute debate, the Senate Judiciary Committee narrowly voted for her amendment.
It is a horrifying disease, and if you've ever seen anybody die of black lung, you would certainly understand why I'm so passionate.
The amendment was adopted on a 9-8 vote. The bill now goes to the Senate floor. Reporting in Charleston, Shayla Klein, Eyewitness News.